That's the only really mean-spirited prank I ever did. I still ain't sorry I did that when she deserved it. But in the years after that, I just kept on messing with the people around my hometown down there and had a lot of fun, always just fun type things. And one day about, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, I stopped by to see a friend of mine that's got a record company there in Nacogdoches. And I had aggravated him over the years, calling up there, messing with him and his employees. And he said, you know, I was telling somebody about you the other day, and they said if you ever came by my studio, they wanted me to record you calling up to where they work and mess with them a little bit. And he did, and it turned out to be, I think, one of my favorite pranks. It was the one you heard just before the show called Switching Babies. It was the first one that got played all over the country. He put that thing out, mailed it to radio stations all over the country, and they picked up on it and played it all over the country. And we've been fortunate enough the last few years, like I said, to get out and tour and just have a great time doing this. Me and my wife, Lucretia, never had no money at all. We got our first what you call royalty check from the sale of our CDs and cassette tapes. So you get so many cents for the sale of each one. Well, we couldn't decide what to do with this money. It was the most money we'd ever had in our life, and we decided to have some improvements made around our house there in Nacogdoches. We decided to have a bathroom put inside the house. Well, I went down to the local lumber yard and I got the name of a good carpenter, and he came out there and walled off a portion of mine and Lucretia's bedroom. And then I went and found a plumber, and he came and installed all the fixtures. Well, I'd been reading all these house decorating magazines, Home Beautiful and Southern Living and all these things. I told Lucretia, I said, I believe I can save some money and finish this thing off myself and make it look just good as anybody can. So she agreed to let me do it. I went down to the paint store and I bought 2 gallons of a real pretty sort of a tan or vanilla looking colored paint. Well, I came back and I started painting. First I painted the walls and the ceiling. I got to thinking it'd be nice if everything in this room was to match, so I painted the lavatory, the sink, the same color as the rest of the stuff. Painted the little drain in it and both the handles on it, and the inside and out and upside down bottom part of it, and the pipes coming out from underneath the bottom of it. And then I painted, we'd gotten a bathtub with one of them sliding plexiglass doors on it, so I painted both sides that plexiglass and the frame around it, the inside and outside the bathtub, the drain, the faucets, the shower faucet up there and everything. Then I looked at the commode and said, well, you just well be next. So I painted the commode, the inside of it, the outside of it, the back of it, the top of the back of it, the handle, the seat, and the lid, and then I painted the floor, painted my way plumb on out the room. Had Lucretia come look at it. Of course, she couldn't hardly tell nothing was in there, but she thought it looked pretty good. So we went on to bed, and she woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, go try it out for the first time. And believe me, when this woman gets up out the bed, it wakes you up, and probably people in the other room too. She's a good-sized woman. Well, she got up, and the bed kind of bounced, and it woke me up. She stayed gone, she stayed gone, she stayed gone. Finally, I heard her hollering. She said, Willie, you going to come help me? Well, I walked up down there, and I started to open the door, and you know, you don't just walk in on somebody using the bathroom, but she was asking for my help, so I eased the door open. And I don't know how to delicately put it to you nice people here at the Ritz Theater tonight, other than to tell y'all, she was what you call permanently attached to that commode seat. Well, I started walking over there to try to help her. Well, I noticed my feet were sticking to the floor, and it paint had done had plenty of time to dry. It was a water-based paint, and I eased back out the room, and I put them cans up. And I don't know if they just made a mistake at the paint store or what, but what I had done is I'd done painted that room and everything in it, including that commode seat, with 2 gallons of epoxy glue. This woman, I am telling you, was fit to be tied. She was mad. I ain't never seen a woman that mad in my life. Well, I went over there, and I reached as far around as I could get, and I was trying to twist her and get her off of there, and I couldn't make no headway, and she was hollering and screaming at me. And she said, what are you gonna do, you old fool? And I said, well, wait just a minute, baby, let me think. I was real unnerved. I said, I'll be right back. So I went out to my pickup, and I got a screwdriver out the toolbox. And I came back in, and I took that lid off with her on it. Well, I got her up right there in the middle of the bathroom floor, and I got to hold that lid with both hands, and I'm slinging her around, trying to move her. could not get it off, and it was really starting to hurt her. She said, "What in the world are we gonna do?" And I said, "Baby, I don't know, but one thing to do is take it to the emergency room, let you have surgery." She said, "There ain't no way I'm going to the emergency room like this here." And I said, "Well, just well, get used to living with it." I said, "It would be pretty convenient. You get to thinking about it." She did not find the humor in that, I promise you. So finally I talked her into going. She waddled her big old self on outside, and I let the tailgate of my pickup down. I got her to crawl up in there, and I laid her face down in the back of my pickup. And we took off for Nacogdoches Memorial Hospital, about 2:30, I guess it was, in the morning. I'm here to tell you folks tonight, there was 2 moons shining over Nacogdoches, Texas that night.